This is actually page 16 of the workbook. If you can't see it that well, if you can't see it very well, and you want to open page 16 of your workbook, you can. But do this in your notebook. Okay. So easier to see that way. All right. Number one, definitely linear. This is a nice straight line. So linear. Intercepts. What are the intercepts? So there is, I would say, looking at that picture, I would say there is no x-intercept. This is the x-axis, and as far as I can see, the line doesn't cross the x-axis. So there's no x-intercept. So now I'm going to look at the y-axis. Where does it cross the y-axis? Right here. Yeah, so it's going by 200, so this is 100. What are we saying? It's 50, 60, 50 or 60. I would give credit for anything, between 70 and 30. It's up to interpretation. So, I'm gonna say approximately 60. So, but let's talk about this word interpret. It says in the directions, it says to interpret the intercepts. So can you guys look at the graph and look at that y-intercept of approximately 60 and can you use the words on the graph, the title, to explain what this y-intercept is? Okay, I hear t-shirt. Okay, I hear prices, shirts. Look at it, you guys. Everybody look at it. Okay, so you're interpreting the whole graph when you said that. You're interpreting the graph correctly. The dozens is going up, but we want to just interpret this single point, this intercept. It says to interpret the intercept specifically. So what does this $60 represent? Yeah, that's like the cost to make the shirt. What word did you say, Joseph? I think you said initial. Initial cost. So it's weird for 0 shirts. It costs them $60 to make. And then what? So to make 4 dozen, it costs. Geez, does it cost $300 to make 4 dozen t-shirts? That's an expensive t-shirt. Anyway, yeah, we're talking about a high-end t-shirt here. It's almost like this should be the hundreds and this should be the not hundreds. Anyway, long story short, the y-intercept, I would say to make 0 t-shirts, it costs $60. That's what we're looking at. Why would it cost $60 to make? Why would it cost money to make 0 shirts? Who might they have to pay before they even start making shirts? Yeah, maybe they hired a graphic designer and then goes like, okay, $60, it's gonna take me 10 minutes. That's why I said 10 minutes. You got an artist. You could probably pay him like 30 minutes, like a 30-minute consult, $60, but no one's gonna show up for $60. Yeah, so, or maybe it was $60 just to like rent the equipment or something. Okay. Increasing or decreasing, the graph is increasing the whole time. And it's positive, everything's positive. The graph is on the positive side of the x-axis and is increasing the whole time. Okay, extrema. So yesterday I didn't use this word, I don't think, in your notes. This is the minimum or a maximum. So I need to clarify that for you. Is there a minimum or a maximum? And for this graph, there's not. It actually, the arrow here means it goes on forever. So I would say there is no extrema. And then and behavior, I would say that let's describe the left side of the graph. The left side of the graph is going down. And I would say the right end or the right side is increasing. Okay, who has started the second one? Who started number 2? Nobody? Okay, I think I might skip then to number 3. I like the first picture better. Really no one has started number 2.
I did too.
She just did. I like this graph. So let's skip to 3. We did 2, great, but let's go to 3 and do that one together, and then we're going to be done.
Do we have homework?
Yes.
Who watched the diving on the Olympics?
Okay, I'm sorry. Who watches diving? I watch.
Diving with 2 hands. The diving is so cool. Those people are so they're like robots. They're so disciplined and well trained and passionate about their gift. Why wouldn't you watch it? Watching snacks.
I know, it's so fun watching break movies. Just watching those.
I mean, if you're against breaking bones, then you should be a fan of the diving. You could actually get hurt really bad. Anyway, there was a diver from China, a 14-year-old girl who got like more perfect scores than anyone's gotten in like decades and decades.
14-year-old girl.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's remarkable. Did anybody see her? She had so many. Yeah, she had so many perfect scores. You saw the dives? It was like, it was the coolest thing in the Olympics, I think. Yeah. But it's not even that she won gold, it's that she did so many perfect dives. And you watch it and you're like, that's not perfect, but then you're like, whoa, like that really did look perfect, like perfect 10s. Anyway. Alright, so what are we gonna do for number 3? I'm labeling this number 3 because it's number 3 on the page. Sorry if that's confusing. Yeah, linear, nonlinear. Nonlinear does not make a straight line. Okay, so I like this one because it has both an x-intercept and a y-intercept. It says to interpret, so I'm going to say the x-intercept, and I'm going to do this in a complete sentence. Can anybody interpret the x-intercept in a complete sentence? Go for it.
Okay, the diver's amount of time. So you hit the water.
Yes, perfect. So, you know, how long did it take the diver to hit the water?
1.75.
I would say 1.75. 1 3/4. So we could say that at 1.75 seconds, the diver was back at the water. because this is height above water. So in a complete sentence, the x-intercept shows that, yeah, that's actually really good. That in 1.75 seconds, the diver is 0 meters above water, which means you know that the diver is hitting the water. 1.75 seconds is actually a long time to be in the air. I think so.
Not really. I'd probably jump and stand there.
No, you jump. When you're in the jump in the air, you're there like a 10th of a second. Okay, is this one increasing or decreasing? So this is complicated. This is gonna take us a sentence to answer increasing or decreasing because it jumps. You know, the diver jumps a little bit, so it's increasing until maybe this is 0.25. So maybe I want to say till about 0.4 seconds. So that's how long the diver goes up before it turns back down. Okay, so I'm going to say in a complete sentence, the graph increases until about, I want to say about because I don't know for sure, 0.4 seconds. Then decreases. And this breakdown of this graph and putting it into words is just going to make your interpretations of graphs just so much stronger. Just forcing your brain to get in the habit of looking at all these little details. Extrema. There is I'm going to call this a relative maximum. Who just said maximum? But a relative maximum at, and so I already said 0.4. 0.4, and how high does the diver ever go? Well, this is going by 1, so I'd say like 10.5 meters. The maximum before it turns and comes back down. And then our end behavior. I'm just going to say the left and right side are both decreasing. I have a bone to pick with this graph, though. My bone to pick is this arrow, because it's not going to go beyond that. I wish it was just a dot.
We just gotta go below.
Oh, you're right. Okay, bone unpicked. What about on this side, though? It's not going to go like negative second.
Well, he's gotta go down louder.
Yeah, but this is second. So it shouldn't have an arrow there, honestly. But I don't know. They have it for all of them. Maybe they know something. I don't know. People who make textbooks usually have PhDs, but I trust my instincts. That should be a dot. Please get out your homework. Oh, turn the page. Yeah. So number 1 is positive and increasing. For the relative maximum or minimum, I think the word there is extrema. There is none here. It's linear. There's no x-intercept, and the y-intercept is at 1400. So to interpret that, I would say that at 0 weeks, so when he started saving for his car, he had $1,400. The right end increases forever, and the left end stops at 0, 1400. See how this one doesn't have an arrow here? Feel better about that. Yeah. Okay, number 2. Your x-intercept is at 10, 0. And your y-intercept is at 0, 20. So I would say I had 20 cups of flour and 0 batches of cookie. Who can say that about this intercept? Use the a complete sentence to interpret the intercept. No. Use the words in this graph.
Oh, for 8 plus.
Cadence, why don't you try it?
Oh, 6.
What's this point?
Or no,
What's this
10.
point mean? Can you interpret it with the word cookie?
20.
Dominic? Can you do it? What's this point mean? 10 comma 0 using the word cookie. Yeah. No, what's it mean? Okay, so how many batches of cookies right here? Yeah. And how much flour? No. Because 20 would put me up here. Right? No, I love what you just said because everybody does that. Everybody matches this number and this number. Because it would take 20 cups of flour to make 10 batches of cookies. Okay? But why then is my x at 0? Go ahead. This is flour remaining. Okay? So for 10 batches of cookies, I had 0 cups of flour like left in my flour bin. Okay? So don't match up this y and this x. They're not together. Okay. Tell me, Sophia, how many cups of flour did it take, or how many do I have left after 4 batches of cookies? Here's the 4. I'm gonna go up till I hit the line. 12. So did I use 12 or do I have 12 left? Anybody? I have 12 cups of flour left. Okay, good. Let's do that again. Libby, can you interpret this x-intercept?
That's 120. That's literally
Yeah, use the word golf ball.
Oh, I get it. You mean the y too?
Yeah, go ahead. Interpret the intercept.
So it's gonna be Oh, I get it. So how high the golf ball goes, or how far it is away from the tee.
So specifically this point.
120
121.
yards away from the tee.
And how high is it?
140.
Okay, you just did the same thing you were cracking up that he did.
Yeah.
You just did the exact same thing.
Yeah, but that's 119.
Why are you gonna pair the 120 with this 140? They're two totally different points. Did you guys hear two people just do that exact same thing back to back?
Yeah.
You're pairing this with this height. What is the height of the ball right here? 0. At 120 yards, the ball is back down at 0 feet.
I think that's 119.
Okay, so
right
0 yards from the tee, I'm at 0 height. At 120 yards from the tee, I'm at 0 height, and then in the middle, I'm up at 140. Yeah. What about this y-intercept? Can anybody interpret this one? So, picture a satellite, or the solar panels that collect solar, and then and it's got like a parabolic curve is what it's called. It's a bowl. Maybe it's on the ground like you said with the diver. Oh, it doesn't say it's not either. Yeah, maybe it's dug into the ground. But you have to really understand what a focus is. So I would say that the depth of the solar reflector is -6. So maybe it's 6 feet into the ground. Okay,
Well,
that's it. So maybe it's dug in. It's where they wanted. It's nice and safe. Okay, that's good for me on that. Any other questions on the assignment? Okay.
Picture review.
So go ahead. On which one?
A flower. I saw a flower.
It's so pretty. I get it. All right. So yeah. So that's it for material in chapter 8. It was a lot of material. So your review problems, it looks like a lot. So you're gonna start a review today. You're gonna work on it the rest of class. It's classwork. You're gonna work on it all day. The next day in class. Thursday. It's today. It's today. Okay, so you're gonna work on it all day Wednesday, and then it's due first thing Thursday. So you have to manage your time on that review assignment.
They're giving us our note.
It's in the textbook. You know, I wanted to give you all, but I made it odd. I don't know. I was nervous. Does anybody? I'm passing out the quizzes tomorrow. Also, does anybody in here still need to take the quiz? We're gonna do quiz corrections tomorrow in class. No, the grades are in.